Ann Barrow, and I'm here in the American Gallery at the LRMA Museum of Art in front of a beautiful landscape collection. And it's really kind of perfect to match doing artful yoga for us to think about what our inner landscape feels like. And oftentimes we experience stressful times. And the truth is we're all really very vulnerable. And the only thing we can control is our attitude. And we can choose fear or love, and then we bear the responsibility for that choice in each moment. And oftentimes these obstacles of difficult times, stress, anxiety, just life, show up, but the obstacles are our path. They're not just on the path and something to get by or deal with, which we do with choosing our attitude. But also, we choose self-care, which is so important. And self-care is health-care. And that involves keeping an open heart. So today's practice is a physical version of open heart with little back bends and twists. And if you have something like a strap or soft belt or scarf, you may want that. And if not, if you don't have anything, don't worry about it. I am sitting on my favorite way to sit. A yoga block, of course, is handy, or a sturdy box, weighted shoe box, book. Those kind of things can be also used for props. So let's just begin with seated in whatever comfortable way you find your body to be in. Take open palms, close them together. Feel your fingertips touch in that little bit of space in between your palms. And touch your thumbs to the space right at your heart. Just take a deep breath in. Open the mouth just a little. Big sigh out. Just know that you've arrived on your mat for your little time of self-care. And let's come on to our backs. Stretch out nice and long. Maybe give your shoulder blades a little bit of a tuck up under your heart for support. And we're going to begin by bending the right knee and drawing it in towards the outer side of the chest. A little bit of soft external rotation to the thigh. And just let the mind drop into the breath here. And you can stay here or grab the outer edge of the foot, lift the foot up with the bent knee in half happy baby. Soften with the shoulders. Let your breath help you release and soften through the hips. Now bend the knee back, left hand to the outer right knee, and cross over the body. Right arm stretches out, and roll the head over to the right. So we open up through all sides of the heart. Little twisting motions through the spine help this. And roll back onto the back and stretch out the right leg. Pause for a minute, maybe you can close your eyes and just check in, compare. Right hip with left hip. Now Now let's bend the left knee and hug it in towards the left side of the torso. Softness through the inner thighs, groin space. Let's go. Allow this opening. And now let's pick up the foot, hold the outer edge. If this feels like a little too much, you can bend the opposite leg, resting the foot on the mat. Settle in to the hip opening, easy breath. And now knee releases or foot releases, hand holds the left knee and cross it over. Left arm stretches out. Feel this opening across the front of the left shoulder, chest, and this spiral through the spine. And roll back onto your back. Now hug both knees in. Palms cup the top of the knees and take your knees in big circles. Like a nice little massage for the low back. Take them nice and slow, there's no rush. Moving with the breath. And when you've done 4 or 5, pause and reverse your circles. Cross ankles and pick the feet up. Lift your head and chest up and round the back. Begin taking some spinal rocks. And if this feels like too much, just roll to your side. Make your way to hands and knees. And then finally come, plant your hands. Knees come directly under the hips. And then keep the hands and arms stretched out in front of you. And let your forehead lower to the mat. So your hips are directly over your knees. May need to adjust a little bit. So as puppy pose, just like down dog, a little bit smaller. It's a really nice stretch and opening for the arms, shoulders, and chest. All around the front and sides of the heart. You may even be able to lift your chin down, but that's a big flexion for the back of the neck. So just be careful. Now we'll bend the elbows, lower forearms to the mat. Come to a forearm plank position. Hug the elbows isometrically towards midline, and then begin walking your feet up for dolphin pose. Toes can touch, or they can be slightly apart. But draw the thighs towards the belly, and press firmly to your hands. Big shoulder opener. We'll take a couple more breaths here. And then walk the feet back to forearm plank, firm thighs, firm belly, and then lower your hips and belly to the ground. Stretch the top of the feet to the mat and lift up in Sphinx pose. Neck stretches long, tailbone lengthens towards your feet, and that brings a little lift to the low belly. Nice small back bends. Think of that space in between the shoulder blades as the back of the heart, and it's lifting, helping support the front of the heart to be open. And you can take little neck circles here. In one direction and the other. Releasing any tension or muscular discomfort from the shoulders and neck. Now we're going to move the left forearm parallel to the short edge of the front mat and bend the right knee. Reach behind you and grab the inside of the foot, press to the left forearm, and then draw the right heel towards your outer right hip. This helps stretch and open the right quad, front of the hip, and the right shoulder. In your little back bend. Release the right foot. Come back through your Sphinx pose. And then turn the right arm. Left knee bends. Reach back. Keep the hips on the ground and draw the heel towards your hip. Press through the right forearm to lift. And release. Let your forehead come to the mat and rest. Feel the full support of the front body. Now bring your hands outside the chest and tuck toes. Energize the belly and inhale, push up and back to downward facing dog. Shoulders and arms should already feel a little bit open, a little more than your normal first down dog after doing our dolphin pose. Now let's step feet up to the front of the mat, hip distance apart, and fold the head down and in. Forward bends are calming to our nervous system. Hands to the shins, inhale, lift halfway up. Draw the low ribs towards the spine and lengthen from the crown of the head. Exhale, fold back in. Inhale, arms stretch wide and hinge to rise all the way up. Exhale, palms press together and draw into your center. Inhale, sweep out and up. Reach the arms up and open to fold forward. Inhale, lift halfway up. Exhale, fold. Step the left foot back, planting the heel down. So you want heel to heel alignment here. We're going towards warrior one. Front knee bends. Draw the right outer hip back and rise up. Prayer hands at your chest. Now hinge forward. Scoop up in the low belly and lengthen the spine towards the top of your mat. Take your left elbow towards the right thigh. And if this feels like too much, you can lift the back heel to a crescent lunge or even lower the back knee to a low lunge. We're twisting in warrior one, drawing the belly in and lengthening the spine forward. Prayer hands press and lift your chest and heart up towards your hands. Exhale, unwind, hands to the mat, back heel spins up, and right foot sweeps back and up, three-legged downward facing dog. Then bend the right knee and lift the knee towards the sky. Both shoulders lift with firm hands. Stretch the right leg back up straight towards the sky. Square the hips and exhale. Right foot meets the left in downward facing dog. Step both feet forward to your forward fold. Inhale, arms out. Hinge up and reach up. Exhale, palms press together. Inhale, sweep out and reach it back up. Root down through your feet and find the length. All the way up the side body. Open arms and fold in. Take a little bend in the knees. Step the right foot back to a lunge. Right heel spins down. Heel to heel alignment. Front knee stays bent. Left hip draws back. Prayer hands as you rise up. Engaging the feet to the ground helps firm your stance and your balance. Now lift through the low belly. Hinge forward as the right elbow to the left thigh. Lift in the belly and stretch forward. Left sitting bone towards the right helps deepen the twist and the spiral to open. Unwind and plant the hands. Back heel spins up and left foot sweeps back and up. Three-legged dog. Hips stay squared here. And then we bend the knee and open up the hip. Like a big body yawn. Should feel pretty nice. That left foot reaches over towards the right side of the mat. And then stretch the leg towards the sky. Square the hips and exhale. Left foot down to the mat. You must step the right foot forward and then walk the hands to the left and come to a wide stance. Keep the spine lifted halfway and toes turned in to parallel feet. We're going to take a little bend in the left knee for a side lunge. Inhale to center. Exhale, right knee bends. Inhale, center. Exhale to the left. You can go deeper. You can even spin the right toes up and let the hips drop down. Inhale, plant the foot. Shift to your wide stance. Right knee bends. This is perfectly fine. Maybe a little wider. Hips can go back or all the way. Inhale, back to center and forward fold. Now lift hands to your hips. Inhale to rise all the way up. Exhale, release your hands and clasp fingers behind the back. This is when you can use a strap. If you can't easily grab hands together, you can use a strap with fingernails facing the front. Take your hands behind, stretch knuckles towards the ground, and lift your chest up, little back bend. Inhale, rise up. Hands to the hips, and then turn the right toes towards the top of the mat. So now we're heel to arch alignment. Arms float up and out from shoulder height. Reach out through the right fingertips, keeping both sides of the body long. And then right hand down, left arm straight up. This nice stretch open through the chest and the front body. Your gaze can be up, straight out, or down to the ground. Now let's bring the left hand to the side, maybe even to your hip. Take a bend in the right knee, hand to the mat. Slide the back foot in enough until the right hip's over the right ankle. The right hand to the ground, or a block, hook, whatever you have. Lift the left leg. So just like we did in that three-legged dog body yawn, we're opening up the hip, torso, heart. Firm through the thighs. Let the breath be nice and even. Take a nice bend in the front knee. Place the left foot behind. Rise up, warrior two. Draw the right knee to straight and right toes in. Left toes turn to the other side of the mat. Heel to arch alignment. Thighs firm, drawing the kneecaps up and arms stretch out. Nice and open through the front. Reach out through the left fingertips like you want to grab something. Left arm down, right arm reaches up, extended triangle pose. And again, you can bring your attention to the back of the heart. Shoulder blades draw towards one another to help in this opening. Now right arm lowers or comes to the hip. Take a bend in the left knee and shift forward. Left hand can prop you up. Right leg lifts. Lined up. Right arm reaches up. Or can stay on the hip. Find steadiness. You can keep this knee bent if you need to. And then bend the knee. Let the right foot come back to the mat. Come back to warrior two. And then hands to the hips. Toes draw in. And step to the top of the mat. Let's take another reaching out and up. Upward salute. Open the arms and hinge to fold forward. Step back to plank position. Firm through the arms and knees bend to the mat, chest and chin. And then hips down, toenails down. Fingertips out onto the mat, elbows lift. Firm the legs and peel the chest up slowly. Inhale. Lift to cobra. Exhale. Belly releases first. Then head. Again. Inhale. Belly first and it moves up. Open. Exhale and release. One more. Inhale. Lift up. Firm through the legs. Exhale, release. Now we're going to bend both knees and reach back. Grab the outer edges of the feet or ankles. And again, this is another possible strap. If you can't reach your feet, the strap can hold. And if you can't do either one, this is fine. Lift the chest and head. Press the feet back. Open up in bow pose. And release. Stack your hands, legs stretch out, and forehead rests. Feel the whole firm support on the front side of the belly and chest. This can be a very calming pose as the vulnerable side is supported and connected. Now hands to the mat, tuck toes, and push up. Cross feet, sit back. We're going to stretch and turn and face. Stretch both legs out straight in staff pose. Take the outer thighs out. Stretch nice and tall, and then right knee bends and crosses over the left leg. You can stay here, or you can add to by bending the left knee and bringing the heel to the outer right hip. Right hand rests behind the back and helps lift. And exhale, twist. Thigh, right thigh and belly, snuggle up. Sitting bones plant firmly to the mat, so the twist happens mid-back. And exhale, release, stretch both legs out. And then the left knee bends, cross it over, and repeat whichever choice you made on the first side. On the second, left hand behind, inhale to lift, exhale to twist. Another variation in this twist is taking the arm in between the thigh and the belly, press back to help open. And stretch out. Let's bend the knees, come back onto our backs. Walk your feet all the way over to the right side. Cross the left ankle on top of the right and sweep the arms overhead. Hold the left wrist. Stretch up and then take a side bend to the right. Big through that left side. And release. Uncross and walk your feet over to the left. Cross the right ankle on top. This time we'll hold the right wrist. Side bend left. Open up all sides of the heart so we can enjoy the energy and feeling of loving kindness. And release. Arms to the side, legs out straight, and then bend the knees. Soles of the feet rest on the mat. Press the inner knee and outer knee evenly forward as you firm through your feet. Lift the chest and snuggle your upper arms up under. And then begin lifting the hips and the chest. Bridge pose. Hands can interlace under the back on the ground. You can bend the elbows and use the press of the back of the arms to help lift the chest and hips. Neutral chin, soft neck. And release hands, Let the hips lower. And then release the shoulders. Step the feet wide. Knees touch. This is a nice release from the low back, hips. Now stretch your legs nice and long as we begin our final pose, corpse pose or Shavasana. And again, you can take a prop, a pillow, rolled blanket or towel under your knees, or a little bit of lift to the head with a blanket. The chin should not feel stretched open here. So we've done all this heart and chest opening. Now we're to neutral. This is nice and soft. It's less energizing and calm. Stay here as long as you like. An added pranayama, which is breathing practice, is always helpful to switch your nervous system. And we'll do this final breathing practice. It's a 3-part breath. It's diaphragmatic breathing or belly breathing. And I would even maybe suggest placing one hand on the belly and the other hand center of the heart space. Begin your breath with your belly, expanding and rising. And then move the inhale up through the low ribs. Then feel the expansion under your hand all the way up to collarbones. And then exhale in the same pathway from top to bottom. Part breathing signals the parasympathetic nervous system or the rest and digest to activate. This can be done anywhere, anytime. If you're feeling a little stressed or anxious, try 3-part breath with belly breathing.